Ducks. Oh, M1 sexy car.
Very nice.
30 million 2J laziness. Stand back. Content. Yes. Hi, I'm Adam C, and welcome to my MGB, which today is at Bicester Heritage for one of their scramble events, and I've parked next to a pair of other MGBs, and we're going to look around some of the classics and some of the unusual stuff that's turned up. This is the pre-90s section, so I've no idea why Mr. 2 is parked here, because he's not pre-90s. Oh, here we go, we've got a Peugeot 205 Rally, looking like a rally car with the roll cage and a hammock for a Sainsbury's bag, and in front of the Rally we have a highway patrol vehicle. And next to the Rally we have a Lincoln Town Car with curb feelers. And beyond the highway patrol vehicle we've got the Corvette C3 Stingray, we've got the Ford Consul and a Cobra. So this we could have driven with today. We had an offer, but we didn't want to wake up that early. Well, she didn't want to wake up that early.
I really looked awful in that.
And this MX-5 wins the award for the best number plate of the day so far. I lol. And that's not a show plate. We looked it up. That's its genuine number plate. And someone's managed to get their RX-8 in the pre-1990s section. Now, something else behind, I've just noticed, there's a Volvo. Well, not only is it a Volvo, but it is also a Volvo Limousine with Cartwright Cartel in chrome. They are on tour, so presumably it's a band. We've spotted Godzilla. Oh, I saw the wing from quite far back. Parked next to a TVR C350. That's more like what I'm after. Although this is a full wide body GTR, so it's not got the bolt-on arches. That's been blended in to the bodywork. Take a look at that. And the first major gem in the car park is Series 1 Lotus Exige, parked next to a Morgan and in front of a V12 Vantage. But we are back at the pre-90s section, and we found some post-90s TVRs. A graphite grey TVR Sagaris, a TVR Tuscan, we've got the Cerbera, and then the old 3000M. The Delta and the E-Type are finding special places to park. And beyond this 32 Ford, we have this little pocket rocket. I love the wheels on that. The wheels and the arches stick out so much that the inner wall of the tyre is pretty much in line with the outside of the original side of the car. We've got another pretty cool Volvo that's sat really nicely. But within the grounds of Bicester we have a supercar section just in front of an auto jumble, so we might be able to bang some bargains. There's the Ferrari Roma, Ferrari F12 x2. This one's got muddy tyres, as well as a Noble M400. And it's really from its side profile that you can see the curves of the wings of the Ferrari 812 Superfast. Chloe's got very excited. She's seen the beer in the espresso section. Oh look, there's take-home bottles as well. Oh, I'm gonna spend in this episode. How is it still windy in here? Oh look, they've got Cobras, none of which are blue. Got an MGB GT, none of which are red. And a dog.
These are a rip-off because they're £1 each, but look, they're priced up at 7p.
I would like 4% of a Pontiac. All this car-related stuff, and Chloe's looking at the wooden ducks. After a quick look round the auto jumble, we're in an echoey chamber and entering the main set. He is a big boy.
It's a wolfhound.
It's just started spitting with rain, so Chloe wants to take cover. I don't know why she's so eager. We've chosen this particular building, Skywave Gin. Do you like gin? Whilst Chloe's getting drunk, we've got a Porsche 911 Carrera RSR matching the flags of the gin distillery. There's also a DB6 with a DB5 next to it. It'd be great to have a DB4 beyond that, my favourite of the trio. Oh, wow. I've just come round the corner. Chloe's still getting drunk, and I found the Mondeo touring car. I mean, out of all of these classics I've seen so far, this is my favourite. This is my era of touring cars. When I was a kid, I used to watch the Mondeos, the Accords, the Lagunas charge around the British circuits like Brands Hatch and Snetterton. It may not be the most valuable, but that is the best car here. And just beyond the Mondeo, we've got this hot rod with a V8 but 3 SU carbs. These two cars begin a rather interesting section. We have modified cars amongst the classics. We've got this old Skoda here, and I'm starting to see a lot of shows, I've kind of covered it quite a lot recently, that modified cars are mixing in with a lot of other shows. So like R33 GTRs, you see them at supercar shows and classic shows. We've even got the Pulsar and a DC5, a very clean DC5, next to another Mazda RX-8 in the middle of one of the main lawns of Bicester Heritage. So purely due to the value of some of these Japanese and JDM cars, they're now mixing in with the classics that the Pulsar's lights are on. So it's no surprise to see an NSX here, but it's next to a yellow Honda S2000. There's a Ferrari 458 Speciale in the middle of the field. Got the Subaru, which is kind of in a Rally Legends section, quite a small section next to the Delta. I hate to say it, but this Mazda looks out of place, especially next to the white R32 GTR. Every show I've been going to this year, there's been a white R32 GTR, almost without fail. I'm going to name this Audi Ralph for obvious reasons. And beyond the Skoda and the NSU, we have a Mazda MX-3. But whilst I've been over at the Japanese car, all I could hear were Italian cars revving together. So we've got a pair of MGBs. I want to look at that later. I've also left Chloe. She doesn't know I've gone. What always happens when I hear cars rev is I don't go over there, and by the time I get there, they stop. So there's some Porsches, that's definitely a 911 revving, but I definitely heard some Ferraris. He's running for the content. Oh, there's a Koenigsegg here. Okay. Well, that will be what we heard. There's a Pagani Huayra here, as well as the GT3 RS 4 litre and the GT3 Touring. I believe I heard the F12 TDF earlier when I was over there. We've also got two Koenigsegg Regeras. This one was delivered to the customer 2 days ago. This is the UK's latest Regera that we have received delivery of. Part next to another one that I haven't seen before either, blue with some orange details. There's also a 720S trying to rev with its soft limiter. McLarens won't let their cars rev over 4,000 RPM, so it never sounds as good as it could. Personally, I think the Regera is the best looking Koenigsegg of the lot, so it's great to see more of them, because normally it's just Zach's one that we get to see all the time, which is still probably one of the best, but nice to see different variants out here. So as I'm sure you recognise by a lot of the number plates in this section, we've got Mr. JWW. He is based in this building. A lot of his videos are filmed here, so you've got his 720S there as well. There's an Aston Martin DBX, and then more of a quirky car, we have the Volkswagen XL1. Do you remember when we went to Chelsea Walsh last year, one of these was following us in on the road? It's the first time I've ever seen, yeah. But just beyond the supercar slash hypercar section, another Japanese car, a Hawkeye Subaru. Looks a bit of a rally car, this one. And then there's the 1930s section. It's got the little Aston Martin behind, and Hotchkiss. And Hotchkiss. This next section is a bit interesting. We've got the Ferrari 308 and a 356 with some skis on the back and a golden ticket. How about this though? A BMW Z3 with some 52s. I mean, what are they, like 19, 20 inch? I think they're 19s on the... Oh, I'm about to die.
I want to join the fun.
Oh, what? Chloe spotted the bubbles. I think that's for kids under the age of you. Also, Chloe, there's a Chloe-sized car. It's a Fiat. This highlights what I don't like about new hot hatches. They're all 4 doors or 5 doors, and they're massive. We also have come across this 911 Turbo, part next to a Subaru, another 911, an E-Type, and a Jaguar XK150, and the Ford F100 arriving. We have found some more Chloe-sized cars and a non-Chloe-sized dog, the Irish Wolfhound. You would not be able to control that dog.
I'd ride him.
Look, an EK9 has mixed in with the classics. Take a look at that truck. I don't even know what it is, but it's sat on the floor. We now have a Bmw M1, possibly my favourite ever BMW. Their one and only supercar. And how about this for a pair? We've got the Maserati 350 GT and the Mercedes 300 SL. This MG must have magnets because I'm naturally attracted to it. MGA looking awesome. I said awesome, sorry. Nice, no, that's boring. Good? That's even worse. Sexy, yes, sexy car.
Very nice.
Very nice. Some Austins, very small. They're Chloe-sized cars as well. It's easy to predict the car that I've been looking for today, and I found one. This particular Cobra is a Hawk replica who make great 289 bodied cars. This one's got a bit of flared arches. What have you found?
It's a bee.
What? What, a bumblebee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm looking at cars. And whilst the TVR wedge caught my attention, in front of it, there's a 250 California. It's what, 25 million pounds? 30 million, maybe?
I like the floating wedge.
It is a floating wedge. Oh, Morgan have a base here as well. They've got their new three-wheeler. It's the first I've seen of that. So they're no longer using the externally mounted V-twin. I think they've got a Ford 3-cylinder inside. I don't think it's meant to be on display. I mean, it could be, but I like the Omega. And there's another BMW M1. So just beyond the slightly ratty Mark 1 Escort, we have the second BMW M1 of the show. And another wedge. This one's a 390 SE. We had a 350i earlier, and Chloe spotted a Diablo SV and an F40. There we go. So we've got the paddle-up wrapped Ferrari F40 and the yellow Diablo SV with the pop bang colour print on its dash. But we've ended up back at the hypercar enclosure and somehow have acquired a drink of a golden colour. And there's a Supra. So a blue Mark IV Supra as the Alvis drives by. Very different from each other, they're different eras. You've got the 2J on display, single turbo.
How do I get up there?
Oh, that's where the alcoholics hang out. Ah, one of the Regeras has started up. Maybe there's some revolutions. Oh, that's just lazy. That is absolute laziness there from Koenigsegg. Ah, yes, the power of electricity. Because gravity doesn't matter anymore. But we've now reached the main section. Chloe was fascinated by the bike with the basket that she could sit in the front, and there is a Renault Alpine section, many Renault 5 turbos and Alpine models. It's a pretty decent lineup, this. I love the Renault Spider as well. There's actually another one at the end in liquid yellow. But I have just found my favourite Skoda in the world. This is beautiful. I wouldn't have known that it was a Skoda if it didn't say Skoda on the back. I'm absolutely 100%, this is my favourite Skoda I've ever seen.
Stopped making cakes and now they're starting to like bite the metal. You've never seen
What are you talking about? How about this though, Ford GT40 section. I was just thinking, with my Cobra, should I get a roundel on the front as well as the side, and maybe even diagonally on the back? I think it would look really good. Obviously, I'm number 88, because that looks special. That's really nice. Maybe I should just get a GT40. So I reckon that has begun cars leaving the show. There goes the Renault 5 Turbo. And I've just spotted, beyond the go-karts, we've got an S13. There are so many Japanese cars and JDM cars. This is a 180 SX, S13 generation with a pop-up headlights. Stand back, we have the junior racers coming through. Is that meant to, oh, it's a siren, it's a police car. Oh, they're pedal powered, I see. It sounds like a cow with a cold. Oh, look, an E30 Bmw M3.
That is a cow.
I can't work out what kind of industry this is from. It's not like a hairdresser. Are these lamps? It's got a turbo on it. We were guessing Porsche 911 or maybe 912 because of the cheaper price. And here is a very special car, a very rare car, the Caterham 21. It was a bit of a sales flop, so you never actually get to see these in the wild. Even at shows, I barely see them. They've got Mark 1 Ford Mondeo rear lights, as you can see, and behind the little Caterham 21 with its tiny cockpit we have an Aston Martin DBR1. And the final section that we have not yet seen contains even more modified cars. We've got the Volkswagen Beetle with quite a lot of camber, and then a pair of E36s parked up next to it. It's nice to see E36s within the Bicester Heritage lot as well. You could mow the lawn with a splitter like that. Is it the Skoda? I think they're revving the Skoda. We need to capture the content. Run for the Skoda. I've never ran for a Skoda before. I'm running for a Skoda. Oh no, it's a GT40. Or was it the Skoda? Yeah. It was the GT40. The Skoda's bonnet's up, that's why it's got a crowd around it. I didn't think the Skoda had a V8. Well, let's see.
It was originally a pushrod block.
This is one of two remaining, apparently. Prototype Skoda. 1.1 litre straight four. It's a beautiful car. That's 3 cylinders. That's 4 cylinders. There they are. Yes. I think I prefer this to the Mondeo. This is my car of the day. Yeah! It left the factory in 1957 as a prototype. They made some coupe versions as well. And this is one of 2 remaining. Oh, but have we got a treat for you? We now have a 300 SL Roadster with those gorgeous teardrop headlights and, of course, The GBR1 making a lot of sounds. I believe that will be a genuine GBR1. That's what it's all about. That's proper.
I spilled my beer.
You spilt your beer. Oh, there's an absolute emergency. The fire patrol's been called. But I think that was pretty much that from the Bicester Heritage Scramble. We've got this M2 behind me now with a number plate that kind of spells petrol. So I hope you enjoy that video from the Scramble. A great variety of classic cars and a few modified in the mix. So I'm going to head home in the MG, which is currently running, but it's a bit quiet at the moment because I need to change the exhaust. So I hope you enjoy that video. Go follow me on Instagram. There goes the Highway Patrol for all the pictures and updates and highlights of the shows that I do. But for now, thanks for watching.